Welcome, Adrianna, to the Golden Core podcast. I'm so excited to have you here sharing about yourself and your work and your wisdom. I'm so grateful. I would love for you to start by introducing yourself, speaking about the heart of your work, which I know is transforming as we speak as well. So I'd love for you to start with that.
Firstly, thank you so much, Marina, for having me and my boy on the show. He just woke up from a nap, so we're just going to go with that. I guess I'll start where I am. I'm a new mum. My boy is almost 6 months old. And at this moment in time, I can really feel, as with every iteration I've been through, but after this life-changing transformation, I can really feel all of the previous roles I have played in a professional sense coming together. So before my son was born in August, I had trained as a postpartum doula. So postpartum education, something that I'm really passionate about. But all the years prior to that as a facilitator through yoga, restorative yoga, Reiki, and then women's embodiment, feminine embodiment, and most importantly, I think what has sort of fused me with now is the archetypal rites of passage work. So being led to that in my own healing through my mother line, and then realizing, gosh, this really is something the world needs, whether a woman has a child or not. To embody these archetypes and move through the seasons of her life is so important for the world. And I really do feel that the world needs alive women owning and embodying and expressing in their own unique way what it means to carry the frequency of mother. So now in my work, I'm slowly coming back into that. I am about to create a very different, let's say, mothers group than there has ever been before. That's really bringing a culmination of the postpartum care and the feminine embodiment and the archetypal rites of passage together, so that women primarily, because you're a woman first and then you're a mother, like we kind of can forget that sometimes, where they can come into the space and really connect to their center, connect to their truth, their wisdom, their knowing, their intuition, and live out life from that way and seeing motherhood as a spiritual path.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, so beautiful. It's a palpable, beautiful window and energy. As you speak about it, I was just taken back to my postpartum journey as well, and how that has shaped who I am, just that window. And I almost feel like I'm still in that window in so many ways. My youngest is 3.5, and I'm just now feeling like I'm returning more and more to my own essence. It's a life journey, I feel. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, because postpartum is for life. It's not
Yes,
just the first
exactly. It's
birth.
anything that happens after that
Yeah,
moment of birth.
anything after that. And there's just so much more that life is asking, at least I know from me, to become this new version of myself every single day. It's quite intense and does require a lot of support and care. But I think my underlying passion for women embodying truth is, and being able to hear that, feel that, sense that, express that, really sits at the heart of what I'm doing.
Oh, really
Yeah.
beautiful. So needed. Such important work. I'd love for you to share. We speak a lot about our essence, our golden core and who we truly are, our truth, inner truth, in this podcast and in my offerings. And I'd love for you to share a time in your life, if you feel comfortable to, share as much detail as you feel comfortable, of course, when you felt disconnected from your essence And it could be linked to your experience transitioning into becoming a mom or not, and what that experience taught you, perhaps, as well.
There's definitely a very clear moment that comes to mind. And it was, I moved back to Australia 3 years ago, unable to walk. I had come out of a very intense relationship dynamic. And I didn't really know what was going on, but my body started producing intense chronic pain. I had been living in London for over 10 years, and I, a year, maybe it was a year prior to the move back home, or even 6 months perhaps, I started getting chronic nerve pain all through my left leg, all through my hip, lower back. And like from the mind, I couldn't figure out what was causing it. But deep inside, I knew it was processing some very deeply held stuff after I exited from a very volatile relationship. And I'll say it was like a soulmate relationship, because it was like blowing up all of my wounds onto this giant like IMAX cinema screen for me to see. But there was still so much of that at the time I couldn't see. And so it had gone through my body in this form of chronic nerve pain. And, doctors of all kinds were like, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, there is something wrong. Like, how can I possibly be feeling what I'm feeling? Which, to be honest, was more painful than delivering my son. In a whole different way, because it was incessant pain all day, every day for months and months, and it would go up and it would come back down. And it was that time I was like, maybe I should move back home. I was planning a visit home for a couple of months over the Christmas period, and I was just one day had a dream. It's like, I think you have to go home. So I got on the plane after having the worst relapse. I moved home in a wheelchair, and it took me many months to come back to walking again and moving and dancing, because as part of my work and my own practice, dance is like a huge part of how I move through things. And like, I was here with the heaviest of heaviest material for me to move through, and I couldn't even use the outlet that I had grown accustomed to, calling upon, right? So I guess in that time, I really was being put in this place where I had to really cultivate deep trust and like in the process, because I literally felt like I got put in a dark room and I had no direction of where I was supposed to go, what I was supposed to do, how I was supposed to come forward from this moment in time. And so simultaneously moving through that, and as time went on and I could become more able again, there was just such a reverence for what I had gone through and how much I was able to really trust myself and work with my mind to reprogram a lot of the beliefs that I had had and a lot of the old stories that I had that had been manifesting in this pain. So I guess, during that time, now looking back, it's like I had to shed everything that I thought I was to really connect with who I really was, and to really feel my essence is. And I honestly believe that my son was like guiding me through that labyrinth, because after I came through that and I went back to dance, I met his father. I met my partner. And as soon as I met him, the signals from my son were just like louder, 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 and he made his way here a lot sooner than we had planned. So, and becoming his mother, I can feel how that echoes what I went through, like that big death cycle of like who I thought I was, who I thought I needed to be, and the birth of who I really was. And whilst it's still very early in my matrescence journey, um, I can feel that core essence of who I am. And I think that's also why I've been called to create my offering Flourish,
Mhm.
because it's just coming through me and it's calling me more into my essence and into who I'm here to be.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing your story. Mm. So you've mentioned dance. Love to hear if there were at the time any other practices or rituals that really supported you in coming back to yourself. Of course, the relationship and opening your heart
Mhm.
to connect with another person in that way and tuning into your spirit baby as well. I'd love to hear what
Mm.
it was like and how you found your way.
Um, It's during that time, that really dark period, like all the other practices that I had, as well as dance, like writing and, breath work, or everything, because I was in so much pain. It
Mhm.
was just calling me to be here now, now, now. And like there was nothing else I could do, because any
Mhm.
moment I came off of that spot of now, it would just spiral and escalate.
Mhm.
So it was hard
Mhm.
work of being there and like being with what is there, which is a very core proponent of what I teach, like being with what's happening and what is true. Um, but as soon as I could start to move, even just like a finger or a hand, I would start dancing again in that way,
Mhm.
in small ways. And then writing came back online, because that dark period of time, it was almost like I was going into like non-verbal. So it was so hard to be able to articulate. And I also feel that it's also hard for, women to express their birth story straight away, because it's like you're still in this like liminal, non-verbal space.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, it took me a little moment to come back around to be able to write again and to share in the way that I normally would. But yeah, dance is the biggest thing for me.
Mhm.
Um, and now that I'm a mother, it's still there, and so is restorative practices.
Mhm.
Restorative practices. And one of the biggest practices I took away from my archetypal rites of passage work is active imaginations and
Mhm.
working with archetypal images of inner mother and the great mother. And that was really replenishing and really nourishing for me, and just such an anchor for me to come back and just
Mhm.
be in this body and everything that it experiences.
Oh, incredible. I'd
Mm.
love for you to expand a little bit more
Mhm.
into that archetypal work.
Yeah,
You
sure.
will be holding a circle inside Nectar, a
Mm.
membership for women in March, which is really
Mhm.
exciting. And the session you'll be sharing is named Mother Medicine,
Mhm.
which is, yeah, linked to that mother archetype. And I'd love for you to speak about the wisdom and the healing of this energy and why it's important to all women, not just
Yeah.
mothers, but women, as you said, how important it was at that point in your life when you weren't a mother as well.
I'd love
Yeah.
to talk about it. Um, you know, the word mother is very triggering for many reasons, depending on the season of your life you're in, the relationship you have to your own mother, the relationship to Mother Earth, like, is just very big and broad and deep, because it's where all life comes from. My friend said to me the other day, it's like there's only two types of people in the world, mothers and children. And you know, and now that I've had a child, I am looking at everyone like they're a little baby, you know, like everyone is just moving through the world with, you know, as they are with everything they're going to experience. And really, I trust that, you know, our souls chose that. So, like, seeing human beings through that lens, and it just has changed so much for me and really has put the importance of our relationship to what is life giving, what, you know, the ultimate form of creation. And I think back to when I first discovered this work through my teacher at the time, Sarah Durham Wilson. I'm not sure if she's still teaching it in the way that she taught it to me. Um, but she, you know, really came at the perfect time for me as I was healing my own relationship with my mother, as I was feeling into the desire to become a mother one day. I think I was in my early 30s then, because I'm like 38 now. And yeah, I really understood that women can go through the physiological rite of passage, giving birth to children, but it doesn't mean that they have gone through that on a psycho spiritual level. Like, they haven't gone through and done the inner work of meeting their maiden, loving her, holding her, cultivating the inner mother so that that internal archetypal rite of passage takes place. So there's this like form of maturation, you know, because the physiological aspect may not mature you. Right? Because many women, as you may know them, they may have come through your maternal line, they still very much act like a wounded, unintegrated maiden. And there's certain patterns and characteristics that come up over and over and over again to bring your attention to that, just from your subconscious into your life. Like, it's like this little maiden's driving the seat of your car, like driving you through life, and you have no idea that it's a child behind the wheel. But you're your adult self, and you're like, why is this blowing up in my relationships or my health or, you know, my relationship to money and career? Like, why isn't anything going how I thought it would? And so bringing that awareness into myself, even before I had my son, was just like, wow, this is so powerful. And for any, you know, woman that really wants to move through her life with a feminine energetic lens, like, this really was so beneficial for me. And so naturally, like everything else I had discovered, I moved into a teaching, guiding role, and started talking about it, sharing about it, creating journeys for women to meet that part of themselves in group settings and individually. And now that, you know, I went on to then study postpartum care, it's just made sense because there's the physical holding of women and mothers, and then there's this inner internal part that nobody sees. And like, having awareness of that as you move through a portal like that is going to create such a bigger lens of awareness. It's not about perfection and getting it right, you know, because all of the mistakes are perfect too, and the lessons that we need to learn. But it's just created such a perspective that I can really hold everything in my life with a little more grace and compassion and trust, and hold women in that way, whether they've had children or not. Like, it just really has been so, yeah, important and life-changing. And Mother Medicine to me is bringing awareness to that and cultivating our relationship with that aspect of ourselves. Yeah.
Beautiful. Can you share some practical ways you can connect or tap into this energy of the mother?
Mm. Um, there's one way that, like, really brings a lot of connection for me, and that's just being in nature and connecting with the earth, the trees, the water, in the way that that is your great mother, because archetypally, you know, and to describe an archetype for anyone who doesn't understand what that is, it's like a collective expression
Mhm.
through the collective psyche, through images and symbols and signs. So it's, again, non-verbal, but it runs in certain patterns and themes. And there's a sort of light and a shadow aspect of those things always,
Mhm.
always. So it's working and understanding those things and like bringing yourself into relationship with that to help guide you through your life effectively. So working with nature, and like literally my favorite thing is to like touch a tree, because trees for me, and it'll be unique for every person, but trees for me really hold that frequency. Um, Another thing you could do is the active imagination, which I will guide um, your lovely women in your Nectar community through, of like connecting with the Great Mother through their favorite place in nature. And it's just every time I do it, I'm still like, wow, it's just so powerful, so powerful. And all the women I have worked with and shared that practice with, it's just like such a deep homecoming, because it is like a returning back to our essence in a very strong way, and remembering that that we're looking for outside of ourselves, that sort of connection, that nourishment, that reassurance, that presence is like already inside of us. And it's just like recalibrating back to that.
Oh, as soon as you said being in nature, my eyes teared up. I felt that hug of Mother Earth straight away. It's so powerful. Just speaking about it made me,
Mm.
oh, like I'm safe, I'm held.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
And like that's such an important part of being human. It's like that we
Mhm.
feel safe, that we feel held, that we feel known. And like it goes so deep, that like being known at a cellular level, that our essence, that who we are, like truly matters.
Mhm.
And yeah, for me, it's been a huge resource, especially now,
Mm.
um, just to plug back into myself and feel it's almost like creating that healthy loop of energy just moving through me, because I keep talking about my experience, but even before I went through this, it was still like so important to me to feel who I was, being reminded of who I was at a much deeper level than the thoughts that like exist up here. So every transformation I've gone through, every rite of passage that I've gone through has been, you know, profound and needed in its own way. And, um, you know, to connect to mother frequency, you don't need to birth children. And I think that's something um, I want to remind people of, just as much as, women need to do this, and men need to connect to their mother frequency too. And we need to connect to our father frequency also. Like it's all this divine union. But what I see when I look out into the world of like just through a woman's lens
Mm.
is a really healthy relationship with that feminine part of who we are. And mother is one core season of every woman's life. So it just is really important, just like maiden and then Marga and crone, like we connect to all of those things. And there's like microcosms of that too, which I could go
Mhm.
down rabbit holes in. But I don't think we have time for that today. But maybe I will go into that in um, mother medicine too,
Yeah.
because it is for everyone. It's needed for everyone.
Mm. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah, one way I connect to that energy is with flowers, especially
Mm.
rose. And there's a link with my maternal lineage, my maternal grandmother, especially, and my mom. And yeah, it's just so
Mm.
beautiful. It's being physically away from her um,
Mhm.
is a very beautiful way to be with her.
Yes, it's really, it's reminded me that I want to share, like, doing this work will go back and heal and will go forward and heal. Because at the time that I was first exploring it and immersing myself in it, without even speaking to my mother, it turned everything like the frequency of what I was working with, that field, it just reached my mother, which at the time was all the way back in Australia while I was in the UK. And it really, it's very powerful to do with intention. And yeah, miracles can happen.
So excited to be guided through that journey
Mm.
by you as well, Inside Nectar. I just love when we have guest facilitators. I have that permission to be guided, and I just love it so much.
I'm sure you do.
Really beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh, um, I have one more question before we close our interview today. I'd love to hear from you for women who are feeling tired, fragmented, or so far away from who they truly are. They
Mm.
really can't even, they don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. I know we've mentioned being in nature, but sometimes you are so in the depths of it that you cannot take action. What do you feel is most important for them to remember
Um,
right now?
that question brought tears up straight
Yeah.
away because I remember it so well. Um, Being able to trust the place that the creator, source, universe has put you in, because I couldn't see a way forward for years. Like, it took over a year, nearly 2 years to really come through that dark place. And if you had told me that a short time after that, I would have met someone that to fall in love with and have a child with, I would never have believed you, ever. So it's, can you trust being where you are? Can you trust that you have to feel whatever there is to feel, and actually just let yourself feel that? Let yourself come undone. Let things fall away with great certainty that you have no idea what's going to come next, because you don't.
Mm. Oh, thank you.
Mm.
Mm, that's mother medicine right there. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much for your presence and for your trust and being so open to share what's in your heart and share about your life experiences
Mm.
with our audience. I'm so grateful to have created this space and to just, yeah, listen to you. I could just do this frequently and just, yeah, just bathing that wisdom.
Mm.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for your invitation to, have this conversation with you and your listeners, and thank you for creating the beautiful part of the internet where people can actually have authentic connection and conversations and tap into something, that's deeper within. Like, it's
Mm.
really special what you're doing, and I'm really honored to be here, and I'm looking forward to being on your Nectar community in March. So
Beautiful. If you could please share what would be the best way to connect with you and learn more about your work, I will also be sharing the link to
Mhm.
your social media and all of that. But yeah, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, the best way is at the moment through my Instagram, which is the Mother Service. It's where I'm currently launching my new alternative, very different embodied version of a mothers group for all mothers, not just brand new mums. And that will be taking place as of February. It'll be online circles for mums all across the world. And yeah, there's definitely more coming through, but feels very early to say. But there will be definitely spaces for women to do this archetypal work, whether they're planning to become mothers or are mothers. There'll be lots of support here for you, and it will be tailored to you as an individual. So if anything I've said resonates, please reach out, have a conversation, and we'll go from there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I look forward to being with you in March
Me
inside
too.
Nectar.
It's going to be wonderful.
Thank you.